We are previewing UFC 144 with Nick Kalikas, MMA Oddsmaker and consultant for DSI Sportsbook. And now we're going to take a look at Rampage Jackson and Ryan Bader. Now, this is a very interesting fight to me, right? Because you got Rampage Jackson. He is a superstar in Japan. I mean, they love him there. He the man in Japan. He the man in Japan. You think maybe that line is a little bit low? Where did it open?
No, actually, another spot open, I believe, under 2-1. So the public bet him up, and my opening line was around 240. So it's almost 2.5 to 1, right? But I think it's pretty accurate around 2 to 1 or 2.5 to 1. I think the line's okay where it is. Public is betting, obviously, Quinton Jackson. We're seeing it, and I think we could see it climb even higher. Now, you have a wrestler in Bader versus an all-around fighter, meaning, I mean, minus the submissions. You don't see Rampage looking to submit a guy very much. But he's a striker brawler, has some solid wrestling, very underrated wrestling, we should say. But in the wrestling department, I think Bader's going to have a slight edge here. But on the feet, Rampage should have an edge here. And, you know what I mean? He's a better striker. He's more dangerous. He's returning to Japan, which I think should motivate him a little bit. But I am concerned how much motivation Quinton has in this fight. So I think Ryan Bader right now is hungry. You mentioned he had 2 back-to-back losses. He did bounce back, though, with a win over Jason Brills. So he's back on he has a win under his belt. I think he's more hungry than Quinton. Quinton had the title around his waist. You know, he lost the title, then he was back in contention again and got his butt beat by John Jones.
Sure, which is understandable. That's okay.
Definitely. Now, one of Bader's losses was also to Jones, so we got to give him credit for that too. So he lost to the champ. Now, that being said, though, I don't know how much motivation Rampage has. He knows he's probably not going to get a title shot anytime soon. He's already lost to the man that has the belt right now. So where are you at in the division right now when you're Rampage? Where Bader, he's still young enough in his career that he's going to be the hungrier fighter of the two. So this is another fight that I'd either lay off or take the dog here. I think that Bader might surprise all of us and make this kind of a grueling 3-round war. And if he does that, he could probably win the decision, because I think we're not going to see a Rampage come in here in tip-top shape. Honestly, that's what the feeling I'm getting now, and from what I'm hearing, he hasn't had a miserable camp, but I don't think we're going to get the Rampage that sometimes we're used to seeing. And let's face it, he's getting a little old when it comes to MMA as well. So I love Quinton Jackson. He's done a lot of great for the sport, but he's returning to Japan. I think he could maybe lose here. So like I said, I would probably lay off or take the dog here.
But you don't think that the fact that he's such a superstar in Japan and might be hyper motivated to get a good win, a flashy win for his fans, will be all the motivation he'll need?
Possibly, but it's hard to gauge that for him. Like I said, I think right now we're not sure where he is mentally in his career, so he might be underestimating Ryan Bader. I mean, if you look at it from Quinton Jackson's perspective, he did lose 2 in a row before coming into this fight, and his win over Brills, a lot of people aren't going to give him that much credit for, So I think Quinton might be underestimating him, and Bader's going to come in here hungry. He's going to be fired up, and if he fights a smart fight, he could steal a decision. It's going to be hard because the fans are going to be definitely for Quinton Jackson in Japan too, so it might sway the judges a little bit, but I think it's Bader's fight to probably steal here.
All right.